That is what Babylon is about. And because of that, in 1 hour, she's going to be destroyed. A single hour, in a moment, when she doesn't expect it. Thus, forever, we are saying, we are reading Revelation 18:4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities." I hope that has helped to clear up for you some of what Babylon is about. We've got videos and documents. Don't just keep running and saying, we're supporting Israel because that is God's nation. Israel in the Middle East has nothing to do with God. When the people go back to Israel will be when Christ returns. Christ hasn't returned yet. This is Satan's duplicate. His forgery to fool people into supporting, again, Satan's system. So let us all wake up. You know, don't believe me? Go read your Bible. It doesn't really require any explanation. It's all in there. Just get a good translation of the Bible. I use the King James as it's available, and it's a good translation, and it's not as corrupt as the 400 other plus other translations that exist. But that's another subject. I won't go down there. But remember that we are told in 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 33, it says, "For God is not the author of confusion." And confusion can be said Babel. Babel means confusion. In the Old Testament, the word is usually Babel, Babel, Babel. In the New Testament, we say Babylon. But of peace. So, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. Not too many churches of the saints about today. So where you see confusion, you see Babylon. Where you see death, you see Babylon. Where you see abominations, you see Babylon. So it's time for us to wake up and pray that this Babylonian system collapses so that all the poor, unfortunate people worldwide can be released from this diabolical, demonic prison that we are all having to live with. If we can get our act together and prepare ourselves, we can affect the lives of our families. We choose, and we choose not just for ourselves, but for our families. If we choose life, we bring blessings to our families. If we choose death, we bring blessings, we bring curses to our families. If we choose death is curses, blessings are life. You can't have no choice. It doesn't exist. And it says that the effective fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. One righteous man makes a lot of difference. Moses, one righteous man, a lot of difference. So don't think you're insignificant and you can't make a difference against Babylon. You can. We all can. And that's what we are called to do. So let us now take up the challenge of coming out of Babylon, praying diligently against Babylon, and when we get the opportunity, holding up the hands of those people who are entrapped in Babylon by praying for them so that they can be released from awful Babylon, which, as we said, has taken over the entire world. So we know that eventually, there's going to be a voice in heaven saying, "Hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our God. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication." And by that he means making people go and worship and have fellowship with demons, and have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. And again they said, Alleluia. And her smoke rose up forever and ever. That's the smoke of destroyed Babylon. Well, that's the end of this Blame Babylon message, and I hope that when you see the news now, you would look at it with a slightly different slant and don't just swallow what you hear, but realize that the media, as we mentioned, I think that was one of the points we mentioned from the broken cross, is controlled by Babylon. And the New World Order is part of Babylon. All the security services are part of Babylon. So see it as a composite whole. All the armies, all the governments, think of them as one. They're just members of the same family. So I get carried away a little bit, you know. So I really have to say that this is the end of Blame Babylon. And thank you very much for watching. And please make sure to go to the website and have a look at the many documents and now our ever-increasing number of videos. And this is Peter James from peterjamesx.com, ending the Babylon report and saying cheerio until the next time.